first disobedience and the fruit of that forbidden tree, whose mortal taste brought death into the world and all our woe, with loss of Eden, till one greater man restore us and regain the blissful seat. Sing, heavenly muse, that on the secret top of Oreb or of Sinai did inspire that shepherd who first taught the chosen seed in the beginning how the heavens and the earth rose out of chaos, or if Sion's hill delight thee more in Silion's brook that flowed fast by the oracle of God, I thence invoke thy aid to my adventurous song, that with no middle flight intends to soar above the Ionian mount while it pursues things unattempted, yet in prose or rhyme, and chiefly thou, O Spirit, that thou prefer before all temples the upright heart and pure. Instruct me, for thou knowest, thou from the first was present, and with mighty wings outspread, dove-like sat brooding on the vast abyss, and madest it pregnant. What in me is dark, illumine. What is low, raise and support, that to the height of this great argument I may assert eternal providence and justify the ways of God to men. Say first, for heaven hides nothing from thy view, nor the deep tract of hell. Say what first cause moved our grandparents in that happy state, favored of heaven so highly, to fall off from their Creator and transgress his will. For one restraint, lords of the worlds besides, who first seduced him to with that foul revolt, the infernal serpent, he it was whose guile stirred up with envy and revenge, deceived the mother of mankind. What time his pride has cast him out from heaven with all his host of rebel angels, by whose aid inspiring to set himself in glory above his peers, he trusted to have equal the Most High, if he opposed and with ambitious aim against the throne and monarchy of God raised impious war in heaven and battle proud, with vain intent him the almighty power hurled headlong flaming from the ethereal sky with hideous ruin and combustion down to bottomless perdition, there to dwell in adamantine chains and penal fire, who durst defy the omnipotent to arms, nine-tenths the space that measures day and night to mortal men, he with his forehead proved, lay vanquished, rolling in the fiery gulf, confounded though immortal by his doom, deserved him to mere wrath, for now the thought both of lost happiness and lasting pain torments him. Round he throws his baleful eyes, that witness huge affliction and dismay, mixed with obdurate pride and steadfast hate, as once as far as angels can he views the dismal situation, waste and wild, a dungeon horrible on all sides round, and once the furnace flamed, yet from those flames no light but rather darkness visible, served only to discover sights of woe, regions of sorrow, doleful shades where peace and rest can never dwell, hope never comes, that comes to all but torture without end still urges, and a fiery deluge fed with ever-burning sulfur unconsumed, such place eternal justice had prepared for those rebellious, here their prison ordained, in utter darkness and their portion set, as far removed from God and light of heaven, as from the center, rise to utmost pole. Oh, how unlike the place from whence they fell. thou beest he, but oh how fallen, how changed from him, who in the happy realms of light, clothed with transcendent brightness, did outshine myriads though bright. If he whom mutual league, united thoughts and counsels, equal hope and hazard in the glorious enterprise, chosen with me once, now misery hath joined in equal ring, into what pit thou seest, from what height fallen, so much the stronger proved we with this thunder, and till then who knew the force of those our arms, yet not for those, nor what the potent victor in his rage can else inflict. I repent or change, though changed in outward luster that fixed mine and high, disdain of sense of injured merit, that with the mightiest raised me to content, and to the fierce contention brought along. Innumerable force of spirits on that durst dislike his reign and me preferring. His most power with adverse power opposed, in dubious battle on the plains of heaven, and shook his throne. But though the field be lost, all is not lost. The unconquerable will and study of revenge, immortal hate and courage, never to submit or yield. And what else is not to be overcome? That glory never shall his wrath or might extort from me, to go and sow for grace with suppliant need, and defy his power, who from that terror of this arm so late doubted his empire. Thou were low indeed, thou were an ignominy and shame beneath this downfall, since by fate the strength of gods and this imperial substance cannot fail. Since through the experience of this great event in arms not worse and foresight much advanced, we may with more successful hope resolve to wage by force or guile eternal war, to reconcile to our grand foe, who now triumphs and in the excess of joy, so reigning holds the tyranny of heaven. So spake the apostate angel, though in pain, vaunting loud, but racked with deep despair, and him thus answered soon his bold compeer. O Prince, O Chief of many throned powers, that led the embattled Seraphim to war, under thy conduct and in dreadful deeds, fearless endangered heaven's perpetual king, and put to prove his high supremacy, whether upheld by strength or chance or fate. Too well I see, and really a dire event, that with sad overthrow and foul defeat, hath lost us heaven and all this mighty host, in horrible destruction laid us low, as far as gods and heavenly essences can perish. For the mind and spirit remains invincible, and vigor soon returns, though all our glory extinct and happy state, here swallowed up in endless misery. But what if he, our conqueror, whom I now force believe almighty, since no less than such could have overpowered such force as ours, have blessed us this, our spirit and strength entire to strongly suffer and support our pains, that we may so suffice his vengeful ire, or do him mightier service as his thralls, by right or whatever his business be. Here in the heart of hell to work in fire, or do his errands in the gloomy deep. What can it then avail, though yet we feel strength undiminished, or eternal being to undergo eternal punishment? Whereto with speedy words the arch-fiend replied, fallen cherub, to be weak is miserable, doing or suffering, but of this be sure to do aught good never will be our task, but ever to do ill our sole delight, as being the contrary to his high will, whom we resist, if then his providence out of our evils seek to bring forth good, our labor must be to prefer that end, and out of good still to find means of evil, which oft times may succeed, so as perhaps shall grieve him, if I fail not to disturb his inmost counsels from their destined aim. But see, the angry victor hath recalled his ministers of vengeance and pursuit back to the gates of heaven. The sulphurous hail shot after us in storm, overblown hath laid the fiery surge, that from the precipice of heaven received us falling, and the thunder winged with red lightning and impetuous rage, perhaps hath spent his shafts, and ceases now to bellow through the vast and boundless deep. Let us not slip the occasion, whether scorn or satiate, pure yield it from our foe. Seest thou yon dreary plain, forlorn and wild, the seat of desolation, void of light? See what the glimmering of these livid flames cast, pale and dreadful. Thither let us tend from off the tossing of the fiery waves, their rest, if any rest can harbor there, and reassembling our afflicted powers, consult how we may henceforth most offend our enemy, our own loss how repair, how overcome this dire calamity, what reinforcement we may gain from hope, if not what resolution from despair. Thus Satan talking to his nearest mate, with head uplift above the wave and eyes that sparkle blaze, his other parts beside prone on the flood, extended long and large, lay floating many a rude, as bulk as huge, as from the fables name of monster side, Titian of earthborn, and that warred on Jove, Uriarius or Typhon, whom the den of by ancient Tars held, or that sea beast Leviathan, which God of all his works created hugest, that soon the ocean stream came happily slumbering on the Norway foam, the pilot of some small night-bounded skiff, deeming some island off as seamen tell, with fixed anchor in his scaly rind, moors by his side under lee, while night invest the sea, and wished it for more delays. So stretched out huge in length the archbeam lay, chained on the burning lake, nor ever thence had risen, or heaved his head, but that the will and high permission of all will in heaven left him at large to his own dark designs, that with reiterated crimes he might heap himself on the nation, while he sought evil to others, and enraged might see how all this malice served up but to bring forth infinite goodness, grace, and mercy down on men, by him seduced, but on himself trouble, confusion, wrath, and